Yeah, another Oscar-nominated performance by Jeff Bridges in True Grit. For someone who fights the acting, you are pretty good at this, Lark, aren't you? The drinking.
Yes.
Have you been a big drinker in your life? Where do you get this masterful portrayal of drunks?
You know, I've done. You know, I've been puke drunk before. You know, a few times.
When was the last time?
I've been puke drunk?
Yes.
Oh, I would say 20 years ago, something like that. You know, long time ago.
Do you just hold it better these days?
Yeah, I don't. You know, I've kind of. You know, I don't like getting hungover. You know, it's just a terrible thing. I made the mistake early in my career of, you know, saying, "Oh, I've got a drunk scene. Well, I'll just get drunk." You know, that seems to be the easiest way to approach that. You know. So I made that mistake. I remember it was a movie I did with Sally Field, and it was a scene to get drunk. And so I made myself screwdrivers early in the morning, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning for my scene at 9 o'clock. And I danced my ass off. Brilliant scene. But then there was the next scene and the next scene and the morning after, you know. So I never made that mistake ever again. I learned my lesson. And now I simply use something that us actors call sense memory.
What's that?
Well, that is you remember how that was and you recall it and you pretend, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Sense memory.
Sense memory. Occasionally I'll do something like for Rooster, for this guy, I'll take a little, you know, wild turkey or something and go, you know, that helps the other actors too. You know what I mean? To say they smell that stuff, you know, coming out. You know, but you don't want to get drunk. You don't want to get drunk or high.
I wonder what the odor was.
What's that?
I wonder what the smell was.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Who do you think are the greatest living actors right now? If you were casting a dream team for a movie.
God, there's some good ones. You know, Tommy Lee is awful good. Tommy Lee Jones, I got to work with him. He's awful great. Meryl Streep's awful great. I haven't worked with her yet. I'd love to work with her. Got to work with Bob Duvall and Crazy Heart.
Is there a great role that you haven't played that you'd love to play? Is there something out there? Is there a great book you've read, a great remake you'd love to be involved with? Is there something that's stirred in your gut for a while?
Generally, I'm not one of those guys who has that, you know, that kind of, you know, I got to play Lincoln or something like that. There are a couple of things that I can't even really tell you about because I don't want to, you know,
jinx it.
You know, jinx it or put anything on, and I don't even know if it'll ever happen because right along with that same kind of. Say, oh yeah, that's really unique. That would be a great thing to do. There's another side of me that's, you know, it's the Bush side. You know, please, do I got to do that? You know what I mean? Please, don't make me have to.
I mean, you must have now enough money to just say, you know what, forget this acting, Lark. I'm just going to go to Montana and play the guitar.
Yeah.
Are you tempted to ever push that button?
Yeah, a bit. I'll be pushing that a little bit. That's kind of what I did this year. You know.
Did you like it? Did you miss the movies?
No, I didn't miss the movies at all. No. You know, one of the cool things about fame and success is that it gives you a voice to talk about some of the things that are important to you or help kind of direct the world in the direction that you'd like to see it going. So. You know, as I was saying earlier, this year I did my music, which was a kind of a very satisfying thing personally, but I also got to focus attention on ending hunger here in our country.
Hold that thought, because exactly what I want to talk to you about after this last break, the No Kid Hungry campaign.
Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal.
You're a spokesman for the No Kid Hungry campaign. Just very quickly tell me what it is at its essence.
It's about ending childhood hunger here in America. And we're doing that by going state by state, working with governors and mayors and you know, heads of food pantries and so forth, finding out where's the bottleneck, because here in America we have enough food, we have programs that we know can end hunger, but it's the access to those programs that's really a huge problem.
Is President Obama doing the right amount of stuff, do you think?
Well, he's the guy who really put the whole thing in context. When he was campaigning, he said, we're going to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. And that really got all of the hunger organizations to pay attention.
But that's not going to happen, is it?
Well, he said, they said our president, for the first time, Obama, he lived on food stamps. He was the first president who really knows what that's about. And he said, the hunger organization said, we're going to get behind this guy. And this is what we have to do, Mr. President. And they started to really, list these things. And what you just said, it's not really going to happen. That's kind of what I thought. 2015, and I think he kind of went off a little bit half-cocked, because I think the hunger organizations were really going for more, 2020. But the fact that he said that, it set a goal. And goals are interesting. It's like when Kennedy said, in 10 years, we're going to put a guy on the moon. And all of a sudden, all the arguments about what kind of fuel and what the shape should be, then all of a sudden now the context has changed. Now those arguments are helping each other. We're going to figure out, I want to know why you don't think this is going to work. And so, goals are interesting that way. They're kind of inspiring,
What goals do you have left?
To end childhood hunger in America is a big goal of mine. That's maybe could be my only goal. I mean, as we sit here right now, I really can't think of anything that I really want to do.
You ticked one of the great boxes recently.
What's that?
You ticked a great box recently in the goal department. You became a grandfather.
Oh, man, yeah.
One of your 3 daughters gave you a grandchild.
Absolutely.
How did that make you feel?
Oh, my gosh, Grace. It was so wild. She had the baby on the bathroom floor. Can you imagine?
Really?
She called us up 6 o'clock in the morning saying, I think my water's broken. But get to the hospital. No, I think we're just going to, with the doula we have says, no, we don't have to do that. And when they go to the hospital, when the water breaks, they want to pitch you right, Pitocin right away, because it's, baby can get, is that, look at that. That's Grace.
The daughter of the dude.
But Isabel.
Granddaughter of the dude.
Isabel, I'm going to be called Dude Pa. But Isabel, she was so in such great shape mentally. She meditates, twice a day, yoga and everything. And so, I said, well, did it hurt? She goes, well, it was an intense sensation, but no, I can't say it really was painful. Very wild.
Do your daughters, do they feel particularly blessed to have the dude as their dad?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe, I think so. We tell each other we love each other all the time, and I think they mean it. I think so. But it's a funny thing. That's when that's all you know. I kind of felt that about my own folks. I just want to say one thing before I know our time is kind of running short, and I just wanted to say that anybody out there who needs food, needs access to food, or knows anyone who needs access to food, especially during these summer months when it's so important. Most kids get their food at school, their nutrition at school. But if you can go to www.strength.org and you can find out where a site is near you.
Great. Well said. And your album, the debut album by Jeff Bridges, The Dude, is out on August the 16th. It's been such a pleasure
to meet you.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed it. And that's all for us tonight.